hello. I'm out for my May Woodland Wild Camp. Solo again. It's late May, left it a bit late really, but that's okay. I've managed so far since September 24 a solo wild camp in the same location every month. This one was a bit difficult to squeeze in between. Great evening. I think we should be dry. Forecast is clear, not maybe sunshine, but at least clear. The theme today is solo or social. Social or solo. What do I prefer? I had a comment some months ago actually about do I prefer solo camp or trips, or do I like the social? Because clearly I do both. It's not an easy answer. I don't have a single, oh well it's this, oh yeah well it's that. No. So that got me thinking, and I thought, well, let's think about it a little bit more on a solo wild camp and unpick some of the kind of statistics for this year and my preferences, my thoughts, my experiences, because it's worth thinking about. Hi, I'm Warren Brand and welcome to another Linleys video. I'm probably about 15-20 minutes away from my camp spot. I gotta go on a little bit, turn right, duck and dive through the undergrowth, and hopefully, as long as I can remember, and I should do, I'll find my my little hideaway spot. I'll pitch up and then, you know, the hot chocolate, and just sit back and enjoy the surroundings for a minute, and then I will get back to you about that question. What do I prefer? Solo or social? Yep, this is the spot. Amazing, lovely. Since last month, it's become much greener again, even more green than it was before. Winter time, clear. Summertime, and end of May, we're kind of summertime, really rich green. Rightio. Anyway, happy to be here, nice and secluded. That's my spot. All set up, kettle's on, hot chocolate's next. Got a bit of the old hay fever that's kicked in. I didn't take any antihistamine today. I didn't think I needed it, but just this evening now, in the wood, kind of a bit of bunged up nose factor going on. I might need to take something. I've got some Puriton or Purities with me. Hot chocolate next. It's lovely here. Same spot, same trees, but the whole kind of situational context kind of moves on as the seasons change. Now there's a complete green kind of canopy all around. There's the greenness on the ground, which I haven't seen since, well, I suppose last September when I started coming here. It's nice. Got my OEX Raccoon 2.1, so loads of space. Not expecting any rain tonight. Haven't put any guy lines out. I just pegged out the corners and the porches. So easy days really. It is a very peaceful bit of woodland. Light's going now. It's, I don't know, what is it now? Just before 8 o'clock. Nice. Except for the noise of my MSR burner thing. Nice hot chocolate, Right, to go with hot chocolate, I've got a couple of cookies, the old Sainsbury's little cookies. Not the cheapest, but they're quite nice and tasty. These are the chocolate chippy ones, Belgian chocolate. So I'll have at least one of those now. But I don't want to have too many because, flies around, because I've got some supper to have. Oh, I've got a delight for supper this evening. You'll be impressed. Look at this. Not. So there's the Belgian chocolate cookies. I'll have one of them in just a minute. Right, for dinner this evening, I've got a Thai green curry packet one, Merchant. I have had various versions of these. They're okay. They're just soggy packets, so they're easy to prepare. To go with that, I've got some golden vegetable rice, just to sort of bulk that out a little bit more. And I treated myself to a naan bread. Well, there's two there. I'll probably only have one. So I'll have one of those as well. Take the other one home, as long as I don't mess the packet up too much. Right, hot chocolate and cookie. I'm on my own, aren't I, this evening, which is very pleasant. Although I like other people's company, I like my own company. What do I prefer? It's not a case of what I prefer at any one moment, or generally. It's what I prefer in a particular situation. There's no easy answer, but I'll have to come up with some sort of answer, won't I? Because otherwise, there's no point even debating it. I've got some points. And what, in preparation for sort of thinking about this evening's camp, I actually went back and counted the number of nights I've been out in a tent this year, 2025 so far, and we are now at the end of May, so 5 months. A ridiculous number of evenings, nights out under canvas. More than I would have historically have done because of the opportunity I've had. But the number is remarkable. I was surprised as I was counting them up. So let me have my hot chocolate and cookie, and I'll get back to you with some of the statistics, some of what I've done so far, a little bit of what I've got planned for the rest of the year, and let's unpick that and see if I can work out whether I have a preference, whether there's more solo or social in the stats. Let's come back to that in a moment. I'm going to have my hot chocolate. Right, cookie as well. Come on, let's open this little packet of cookies. We can have at least one, can't we? Oh, they're massive. My cuisine food is on. 2 little packets in a saucepan of water on my very noisy MSR burner. That's almost up to the boil. I have a couple of Old Peculiars from Theakston's. I do rather like, you may well know, I do rather like the darker sort of bitters, and they don't come much darker than Old Peculiar, apart from getting towards the stouts. So I've got a couple of them, and since I'm on a woodland camp, I thought I'd go for a bit of comfort. I've got a small half-pint dimpled glass as well, so just get the packets up to boil. I'll pop open a Theakston's and just enjoy the evening. Cheers. That's very good. Well, the light's going. I'm trying not to put the little torch on my tent light until I've zipped up, because otherwise the flies will be in, I'm sure. So I shall just sit here and enjoy this for a few minutes. And then I'll get back to you in a short time. This looks quite good. I'm quite pleased with this. For a basic, very, very basic meal, that looks okay. I was thinking about trying to toast the naan breads, but I kind of waved them at the flame a little bit, but that's all. So they're slightly warm, but whatever. It's not a restaurant, is it? Basic though, isn't it? The Thai green curry, lots of flavour, good texture, but you know, no sort of meat factor to make it, you know, really good curry. It's okay, I'll do it again. Let me enjoy this, finish my meal, enjoy a beer. Then we'll zip my tent up, put the light on to keep the midges out, and then I'll get back to you and try and debate the solo or social issue with sleeping in a camp or trips or whatever the kind of context is. I'm not sure a traditional English ale goes with a Thai curry, but never mind. Well, I think I'm mostly sorted for this evening. I've finished my beers, meal's all gone. I was thinking of having another hot chocolate. I still might do that. I've got some more cookies left for sure. I'm all in my sleeping bag and bed sorted. Haven't blown bed up yet. It's still deflated, but everything's out ready for the night. It's well gone 10 actually, so time has disappeared. All zipped up to keep the flies out. I did the zips before putting the light on. It's not the most attractive lighting arrangement for talking to the camera, but what would be nice if I was sitting on a nice ledge on the top of a mountain on a lovely sunny evening, looking over at some gorgeous view, which I've done loads of times, but not tonight. I've got some notes. I've done some counting up of some stats and things, and I was amazed when I was doing the counting up, looking back at my diary, how many times I've been out in a tent this year so far, and this is the end of May, so just like 5 months. I have been in a tent for 25 nights under canvas. Be a combo of bivvy, small tents on my own, or large tents, so a bit of a combo of whatever. And that's whether I've been out on my own or with other people. And I've done a little kind of a tally up chart of what those stats are. You know, I've just put those things in my calendar just as they have kind of appeared in my mind as I wanted to do, talking to people, seeing how things fitted with home and work and bits and pieces. I'll come on to kind of how I do my diary as well. So I've done 5 solo woodland camps. That's these trips, this spot 5 times, obviously January, February through to May. So this is the 5th one. I've done 3 social woodland or kind of low-level camps. 3. That's been with Dan, Headley and James, Sussex Outdoors. I think those were the 3 that I've done socially. I've included in the 25 count of 25 4 nights at campsites, obviously social. So that was 2 nights with Kit. We went down to the West Country, did 2 nights down there at a campsite that I booked, and another campsite with my wife in the big teepee tent. I've done 7 nights on top of mountains solo. That's a combo of 2 or 3 trips, Yorkshire Dales and Peak District and whatnot. But also I've done 6 nights, I hope all this adds up, 6 nights on the top of a mountain with at least one other person. So let's say it's about half and half, social or solo. How's it worked out that way for this year, and is that similar to the past? Well, the last bit, no. I am still hay fevery, dear oh dear. This year I've certainly done more than I have ever done before. My goodness, while I was working I might not have done perhaps 10 or 15 in a whole year, so it's 225 in less than half a year. That's remarkable. I was surprised when I was adding those up. It's not by design specifically that I've gone away more this year, it's just opportunity. It's not driven by YouTube either. I'm not dead keen specifically, I've got to do another film on YouTube, I've got to do another video. No, not at all. I'm about 6 to 8 weeks behind editing some videos. In fact, I'm going to finish editing one that I did middle of last year, so almost 12 months out of date. So I'm not desperate to find content to put on YouTube, and I'm still managing to do sort of 2 a week. So the trips I do are still absolutely very much for me and my enjoyment with other people. So the sorts of trips that I've booked in, whether that's social or whether that's solo, it whatever fits in my calendar, whatever fits in my diary. I've had in mind this year to do 3 or 4 bigger trips, and I've done 2. I did the Yorkshire Dales trip at the beginning, earlier in the year in the springtime, and I did a longer Peak District trip. Really enjoyed both of those. The sequence of getting those videos out isn't necessarily simply in chronological order. I don't stick with the chronological order of editing sometimes, just because they go better in batches sometimes. And with these larger trips, other people are not available. So the time that I wanted to do the Yorkshire Dales trip, I think that was for four nights, nobody else was available. And really the sort of relative intensity of that trip, so I did perhaps you've seen some of those videos, the 3 peaks in the Yorkshire Dales, one after the other, plus another one on Fountains Fell. That was fairly relentless. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but the people that I kind of link with, my mates and friends, wouldn't necessarily be up for that level of intensity. Similarly, when I did the Peak District trip, I included a beer festival, I included a bivvy in a particular place, just because those were the plans that I wanted to put together. And really, if I was going to invite somebody else to do, if they were free, you know, when it's social, you draw plans up together. I was very specific about what I wanted to do, so that kind of meant that it was going to be a solo trip. And anyway, for that week, nobody else was available to go and join me. So some trips, by design, by default, will be solo trips, whether that's kind of here, this is a Sunday evening, nobody else was going to be available on a Sunday evening to do the woodland camp with me, or solo on a longer trip. So those solo trips happen because they kind of won't happen any other way. I'm going to come on to whether I like my own company or prefer it in kind of just in a wee while. Just at the moment, focusing on the practicalities of booking trips. So flipping across to those times and occasions when I do end up doing sort of social trips with people, and those sort of people that, you know, on video you may well have seen. Dan, Camp Life Bushcraft, James, Sussex Outdoors. We've done our Bluebell Camp again this year. Headley Thorn. We've done some mountaintop things, Dartmoor, South Wales, Kit. We've done a couple of trips. Those get booked in because the my mates are free. They might suggest something, I might suggest something. We'll work on our diaries and negotiate, and the whole trip then flourishes. It sort of blossoms and blooms into something that's more than just a go-to on my own, do something and come back home. Sometimes they're multi-nights, sometimes it is a two-nighter, sometimes it's just a one-night, go, do it, and then come back the following day. Those social trips have got to be when mutually we can find dates that fit, well, obviously, and we need to be able to come to a conclusion of what sort of trip we would like to do, be that Dartmoor, South Wales, or somewhere further afield. And then obviously there's the negotiation, sort of working out the details and plans, and not specifically who's leading and who's in charge, but perhaps who's got the most expertise. For me and my trips, for example, I'm very, very comfortable navigating anywhere, really, in the UK, and I don't know, anywhere really, I suppose. I carry maps and GPS, and I do the planning, and I know exactly where I am and where I want to get to, and everything. So kind of routinely I'll be very comfortable sort of leading, not to say that I am specifically leading if it's two people, but usually I'm more in tune with the map and our location on a trail. But that does change when I go to Dartmoor. I'm less familiar with Dartmoor. I've been there recently a good handful of times, but haven't been there previous to sort of the last 2 or 3 years for 20 years. So really I've forgotten kind of the concepts of Dartmoor, forgotten the names and locations. So going out with Headley, for example, and Dan, they're far more familiar with where the tours are and the roads in Dartmoor. So I'll kind of go with the flow. They'll make some suggestions. I'll say yes, and look at maps together. But they're sort of leading the trip. That's sort of a good balance, really. Sometimes I do, sometimes they do. Depends on who they are. I was out with James, Sussex Outdoors, for the Bluebell Camp. It's an area that he knows particularly well, much nearer him than me. It's a place that he seems to go to quite regularly, I think. And without doubt, although I knew where I was, he was absolutely leading and directing and picking the spot where we were going to camp, and so right. Other occasions, woodland camp, if we've used permission woodland. Dan knows some landowners, a few, I think, sort of south, kind of where we both live-ish. He's a little way away from me, but not so far. He knows some landowners, and he can make a couple of phone calls and say, would you mind if? And they usually say yes, and then we'll go there. Certainly for our Christmas camp we do that, so we put the lights on and put the fire on, and nobody's going to disturb us and say, oi, why are you there? It's all fine. And clearly that sort of level of negotiation, Dan, for example, would need to do that, pick the date and everything. So that's kind of how my calendar and rota of trips has sort of evolved, certainly this year, and that's not different to what it was before, but perhaps a bit more intense this year. Oh, there's a pun there, intense. Anyway, but the question that I had those few weeks ago by a subscriber or somebody commenting was, do I prefer solo or do I prefer social? And I certainly haven't answered that, have I? Although I think I've come to a conclusion, being self-reflective about that, and thought, I don't mind. I like both, and a good blend of both. I absolutely like being on my own on those occasions that I'm out and about just doing my own thing. The Yorkshire Dales, that was 5 days, 4 nights, and talk to people. You talk to people, say hi on the fells and in the pubs and bits and pieces. Not long conversations, just a little brief hi, how you doing kind of thing. I get to a point where I kind of miss a bit of social time with people. You miss talking about, sharing about what we've done and stuff. It's nice to video and share on YouTube. I suppose that fits that ticks that box. And there are other times, of course, when I've been on longer trips. The South Downs Way with Dan last summer. That was that 6 or 7 nights and all those days. Very sociable. We were together all the time for that trip. There were the odd hour or two in the day when perhaps he was ahead of me and I was walking a bit behind, or the other way around, or we weren't chattering all the time, obviously, but that was a busy trip, and I've been away to Italy with Kit for is that almost 20 years. We've done a very long week, usually about 9 or 10 days, going to the Alps or all sorts of places in Europe, Pyrenees, Italy, South Italy, Sicily, all sorts of places. We've got another trip coming up in about 6-8 weeks time. So that's completely a social trip. We're together all the time, and enjoying each other's company. We've done that for almost, is that 20 years? Maybe not quite 20 years now. And absolutely looking forward to that again. But do I prefer solo or social? No, I don't prefer either. It's a blend. Sometimes it's nice to be out by yourself. Sometimes it's really nice, equally nice, to be out with a couple of other people that you can share. So I'm sorry, there is no answer to simply, do I prefer solo or do I prefer sharing socially? It's a blend. It's got to be right for the type of trip that we're going to do. So have I satisfactorily answered that question, or have I avoided the point entirely? Oh dear. What do you do? Do you do trekking? Do you do trips, multi-day trips? Do you do single-day trips? Do you do daytime trips and not so much the nighttime camps, or do you like the evening camps and then keep the trips short? What's your usual go-to? Do you yourself prefer multi-day with people, or what's your combo? What's your focus? I know some people that I follow are absolutely more interested in keeping it just themselves, solo. 1 or 2 people I follow on YouTube would, I think, only do their own trip and just like their own company and do their own thing, and that's great. That's their style. That's what they like doing, at least sharing on YouTube. Other people I follow on YouTube are out and about, and more often than not will have a buddy with them, a partner, a friend, tracking companion, and more often than not go out with somebody. Yeah, what have I got next? I got this one, obviously solo. Got a couple of family bits coming up, and then got another longer path one to do with Dan in the summertime. I've got a trip lined up in September. I'd like to do a long distance path by myself in September. Details still working. I've got 2 or 3 options of route and location to kind of tune in on. I've got about 5 or 6 days earmarked for that. That'll be solo. Nobody else will be available at that time. Yeah, quite a few. And again, it'll be a balance. Dan and I have agreed a couple more social one-offs. Headley and I have got some day trips, and we've got another couple of camps lined up for the near future. James, Sussex Outdoors, we've agreed to do another trip in the autumn. And there's other people I think I'd like to meet up with that kind of not yet kind of nailed the idea that we will. Looking forward to all of those. All of them a blend, solo and social. Oh dear, that's a bit of a headache. I think for the moment I'll leave it there. I'm going to get myself sorted. I might actually just have another hot chocolate and have another one of those cookies, because I didn't really have a pudding after my main meal there, so that's good. Stretch the legs. It's nice to be able to sit up in this OEX Raccoon 2. Lots of space actually. Sort my bed out. I'll catch you in a wee while. I think for a bit of ventilation, I'll leave the gauze flap down. Can't bother to roll it up. Could do the other side as well, just to get a bit of ventilation. It's warm. It's a warm evening. Don't know what it's going to get down to. 10 or 12 degrees. I think it's warm. Not sweaty warm, but warm anyway. Finished hot chocolate. Tied it up a little bit. Got my bed sorted. Pillow pumped up. It's time for bed. It's just after 11, so I've got to be up quite sharp in the morning to get home, family stuff. So alarm set for 6:30. I need to be away really 7:15 or thereabouts really. So a little bit early, but that's all right. Nothing specifically to keep me here. I shall wander out and check in with you in the morning. Thanks for following along. Hope you found any of that sort of monologue about social or solo relevant, interesting, whatever. Catch you in the morning. Night. Good morning. I say good morning. I don't know what it's like out, but I'm wishing you a good morning nonetheless. No rain, certainly. Just the birds making their little noises in the morning. Yeah, sweet. I've got to be quick, up and at it, and off really, get back home. Things on, things to do, so no delays to enjoy morning time, sadly, at camp. I'm not even going to do coffee and porridge. I'm not going to put the kettle on. I do have to pack it up and stuff, but straight pack up and go. So let me focus on that, and I will catch you on the walk out. Bear with. Oh, well, that's it for another month. Lovely sunshine, just peeking its way through the treetops. Lovely green grass, well, whatever this ground cover is. Okay, leaving no trace, no rubbish. I think it would only be me that would see it the next time, but that's beside the point. Absolutely nothing left. All rubbish packed away. And off we go. Well, there we are. That's another solo woodland wild camp ticked off the list for this year, or for this kind of 12th month little kind of sequence. May 2025. June to do in about a month's time. July, August, and then, well, I don't know, probably that'll be it for the main sequence because I started in September. I've enjoyed this one. What a glorious morning. That early light. It's too easy to kind of be lazy in your tent and get up a bit later and you miss that morning light. It's good. Well, time to leave you here. I think I've got probably 45 minutes to finish off, walking back to the car, zip home, and then stuff to do. So I will leave you here. Hope you've enjoyed following along and thought through some of the things I've said about the solo or social. Can't do both really, not at the same time. Except, of course, for my February woodland wild camp solo, when it wasn't solo. Yeah, catch that video if you haven't seen it. So from this lovely piece of woodland at the end of May 2025, thanks for watching and bye for now.